this is Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and my hop is off today because I'm so sore. I worked out my legs not yesterday, the day before. Day two is always the day that it's like, oh. So now whenever I just go to like sit down, oh. And we have to do that all day. We're sitting down, going to the bathroom, we're sitting down to watch TV or read. So every time I'm making all these funny sounds. Anyway, I don't know if I said, I'm Belinda. This is Belinda's Book Nook, and welcome to anybody that's new and everybody else. Welcome back. It's Friday. It's May 1st. I thought I would come in and confess what I've done and what I haven't done for this past month, and what I plan on doing for May. Actually, I got to keep that because I think I wrote some other notes in there. So I have been updating my book journal. I'm not completely caught up, which is not a surprise, but I'm doing pretty good. Let's start first. Oh, and I also want to share with you guys some, I think what I'll do is I will talk about what happened last month, and then I will share with you my purchases for Independent Bookstore Day, which is this past weekend, which, yay, an excuse to buy books. And then I will talk to you about what I'm going to read for May. So I was very ambitious, as always. I said that I wanted to read 5 possible 6 books, and I ended up reading 1, 2, 3, 3.5-ish. Yeah. So I like to aim high. So the first one I talked to you guys about already, and I don't have a picture of it, do I? I've already returned it to the library, and that's The Quiet Librarian by Allen Eskens. It was really good. That one I told you, that was like a 5-star for me. The reason why is it was a bit of historical fiction worked into kind of a thriller. I guess you call it a thriller, a mystery thriller, where we followed a main character who was from the Bosnian War, that had come to the United States and was trying to live a new life and leave all that behind. I hope the lighting's okay in here. I didn't put any additional light. We're going on actual natural light, and so I know there's more coming from this direction, so that's why I have the camera kind of this way. So I'm hoping that I don't get to the end of this and want to cry because you can't see me, but you can hear me. That's the most important part. But anyway, I really enjoyed the book. I thought the pacing was great. It grabbed you from the very beginning. It went back and forth in time. It had some facts in there that I wasn't aware of. I'm not very familiar with the Bosnian War, so it was really one of those books that made me want to look up more. So that always that boosts the rating already. If you got me interested in looking up stuff, I'm here for it. So if you're looking for something fast paced and something that might, and something that you might not normally have, or might not know about, it is sprinkled within this thriller, and it was really good. The next one I read and loved, and I thought I put it in my pile. Didn't I? Yeah. And it was Fireflies in Winter by Eleanor Shearer. And I just couldn't wait for this one to come out. I pre-ordered it. I read River Sing Me Home, which was her debut. So this is her sophomore book. And it was very good. I think my complaint was there was a couple of moments where it got a little bit slow, but she definitely pulled it off to the end, towards the middle and towards the end of the book. And I thought it was a really interesting story, and I'm glad I read it, and I will continue to read her books. I'm pleased with the things that she does, and I think that I definitely want to read more. I'm happy about that. I was happy that I got it, and I was happy that I read it so fast, because I've been buying books, right? But I'm not always reading them. So the next one I have was called Shut Up and Read. I don't have a copy of it because I borrowed it from the library. And then the time when it ran out and they pulled it back. So now I had it digitally. So now I am on hold and I'm supposedly in position number 1. I hate that because I'm in the middle of the book. I'm almost I think I'm halfway there through it. And it follows Janine A. Cook, who owns several Black bookstores. One I think in Paris and two in Philly, or maybe one in Jersey and Philly. I think there's two in Philly and one in Paris, if I'm correct. She's also written another book, but this is her memoir. And it is really good. It's very interesting, engaging. And you just kind of, I'm in awe of people that own bookstores because I love books and I love reading, but it's a hard job. It's oftentimes people don't really understand all that goes into it and how to make it success and thrive. And I'm feeling like she's giving us a lot of information in the book, and I'm enjoying it. So when that gets back, unfortunately, it's going to spill into this month, but I'm going to finish that, and then I'll just write the review because I started it in here in April, but whatever, right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. We're not gonna. I'm just not. I'm trying to let go of things and not make it like it's a. It is not. It's not a chore. I want to read books and enjoy the process. So if that's what happens. It should be coming to me. I'm gonna say by next week, and because I don't think if I'm in position one, it should take that long. The next one that I read was Not Without Laughter by Langston Hughes with Read So Lit Book Club. Let me tell you, our group has been knocking it out of the park. Dee Dee has been giving us options that are just great. This was another 5-star. I usually don't really talk about the stars, but because I really like this book, it's not a long book. It's only 240, 256 pages. And it really captures so much. We decided that it was written in 1930, but the time period I believe we said was from 1907 to 1911ish, coming up on World War One. And what I liked about, there's so many things I liked about it, is first of all, it's Langston Hughes and it's beautiful writing. And he's a poet and author, because this is his only, I believe, novel that he's written. But you can tell that he's a poet because it's very beautifully written. And he follows this boy, Sandy, who they're poor. They live in a predominantly white area. I believe it's in Kansas. I'm like blanking all of a sudden. You know how that goes. It goes out of, yeah, it's in rural Kansas. And he lives with his grandmother. He and his mother live with his grandmother, and his father is kind of an on again, off again father. He's there and then he's not there. And then the Hagar is the grandmother. She has 3 daughters. One who is wants to pursue a career in singing, but it shows the struggles that she has to go through to kind of get there. And you see the ups and downs of her life. And then you see her other daughter, who is, I believe, the eldest, Tempe. She's a good example of what colonialism can do to the psyche of I'm going to speak on the Black community, whereas she really had a hard time dealing with things, like in the sense that she wanted to distance herself from her Blackness. I think that's the best way to describe it. There was a lot of colorism. I like how each of the daughters kind of gave you a different slice of what the African American community could be represented, or in terms of their experience. And I feel like she really thought that the closer she got to whiteness, the better she would be. And so she distanced herself from her family. She did actually, do well for herself with her marriage and her finances, but she lost the connection with her family, really, in so doing, because of the way she chose to do it. And then the other daughter, who is the mother of Sandy, was hardworking, a domestic as well, because Hagar worked as cleaning clothes for several white families. Um, and her and Sandy's mother, who Hagar's other daughter, she kind of was representing kind of, she was a hopeless love. She really loved her husband despite the fact that he constantly kept leaving. He wasn't really supporting them. When he was around, he was really just freeloading off of the grandmother. But she was just so blinded by that. She just wanted to follow him to the end of earth. And so you got to see like these things. Meanwhile, you're also seeing Sandy as he's growing up, and it was just told so well. There were so many instances that you just, especially towards the end, it was just had me like fixated, and it was so immersive. His writing just drew me in. I can't speak more highly about it. I just think it's just really a great book. I'm so glad that we read it. So there's that one. I hope I gave you a good sense of that one. Now, epic fail was Becoming Earth. This is the one I was going to read. Yeah. So it's not that I don't enjoy the book. I've been picking up at the wrong time, like usually when I'm getting ready to go to bed, and so I'm getting tired, and so I've just been reading it very slow. I wish I could attach the audio to it so that I could listen to some of it while I'm cleaning and things like that, because I think that would help me go a little faster. So I don't know if this will spill over. I do want to read this book one day, but I'm not saying it's a DNF. It's a maybe I'll read it later book. So I'm so sad about that because I really wanted to read that. So those are the ones. I also was thinking about potentially reading my horror book that I bought that keeps getting pushed off, but I really feel like in the summer is going to be a better time for me to read the horror book. So those are the books for April. Let's talk about what I bought for Independent Bookstore Day. And I call it Independent Bookstore Weekend because I started on Saturday and then I finished on Sunday. Next year, I am going to actually go to more stores. I only did 2. And I think what I'll do is save my money so that I can actually go to more of them. Like they give us this book that's a passport trail. So when you go to the stores, like it gives you the name of the store, they stamp it. And then you're supposed to write the date you visited, what you purchased, your favorite feature, blah, 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 the shop vibe, service, how was the service, you're rating it overall, the selections. So I think that's really cool. So I will have this also for next year, and I could continue on with this same one and do that. So I think that will be really fun. So these are the things that I bought. The first day I bought, I think I bought this one on the first day. Yes, this is what I bought. The first day. Yep. I think I also got a little pin too. Yeah, I got other stuff mixed into this bag, which I don't like that, but whatever. Okay, so I got a little book, a pin that talks about the trail that I can put like that. And then I got, I love Studio Ghibli. I love their movies, and My Neighbor Totoro is one of my faves. And so I always love stuff like that, and green is my favorite color. So I got this journal that has it on here. It's like engraved, and then it's engraved with color, on it. And it's just lovely inside. And then you have your lined pages. So I just don't know yet what I'm going to use it for, but I promised myself I wasn't going to just keep it as a collector. I was going to use it. So I got that. And then I got this one by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've never read anything by her. Sometimes when I hear an author's name so much, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to read it. I just do that. But this one was one of the ones that I had heard about, and I completely was interested when it came out. And so I'm happy that I did buy it. And it's called Atmosphere, A Love Story by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know if you've all probably heard about it, but it's a fast-paced, let's see, I'll read a little bit. And the inside, it says, an epic new novel set against the backdrop of the 1980s space shuttle program about the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits. Joan Goodwin has been obsessed with the stars for as long as she can remember, and she's content with her life as a professor in physics of astronomy and as an aunt to her precocious niece, Francis until she comes across the advertisement seeking the first women scientist to join NASA's space shuttle program. Suddenly, she burns to be one of the few people to go to space. And then it goes on some more and talks about it. But it just sounded great. And, on the heels of Artemis mission, it just feels like this would be a really engrossing book for me to read this summer. And this came out last year, but I'm still really looking forward. So I got that one. I was kind of glad because I had remembered that I liked it when I saw it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get that. I'm really trying to broaden things a little bit too. So then the next one, I had a list, and then I couldn't find some of the things. Then I found too many things at the second store. So I limited myself to 2 books because we're talking independent bookstores, and we know independent bookstores charge a fee. I feel that the light is leaving me. I hope you guys can see me. This one is called The 7 Daughters of Dupree by Nikisha Ellis Williams. This cover is just beautiful. Look at that, right? I'm sure you've heard of this one. If you haven't, now you are hearing about it. This one is from the 2-time Emmy Award-winning producer and a host of the Black and Published podcast. Comes a sweeping multi-generational epic following 7 generations of Dupree women as they navigate love, loss, and the unyielding ties of family and the tradition of homegoing and the love songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. Wait, look inside here. Wait, look at that. Is that incredible? Because that makes me happy. I love family trees. So this one speaks complete summer to me. I just think it's going to be so neat to read. I could do this in the summer or the fall. I feel like that's the 2 times for this. I've been wanting this since I had read the description for it before it came out. And I said, okay, well, if I'm going to get something that I really want, then I'm going to go for it. So that's the one I got. And then the second one, I had heard about this one, and this one came out this year too, I believe. This one's here. Yeah, this one came out this year as well. And this is Cleopatra, a novel by Sarah El Arifi. And this is the cover, which is stunning. This also spoke to me as like a summer read. It's probably reflecting on you on the camera. I can see it's reflecting here back at me. But it says, listen to this inside. Cleopatra tells her own story in this evocative and sensuous historical epic from the best-selling and award-winning author of Facebound and The Final Strife. It says, you know my name, but you do not know me. Your historians call me seductress, but I was ever in love's thrall. Your playwrights speak of witchcraft, but my talents came from the gods themselves. Your poets sing my bloodlust, but I was always protecting my children. How willfully they refuse to concede that a woman could be powerful, strategic, and divinely blessed to rule. Death will silence me no longer. This is not the story of how I died, but how I lived. Okay, come on. Okay, I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. Gonna read it. It sounds good to me. So that's all I bought for Independent Bookstore Day. But then I had an appointment yesterday, and it was next to Barnes & Noble, and I had to go in and get a chai. So I went in to get a chai, and then the booksellers were really, really friendly. Everybody was talking to you. I don't know if it's like review time, but everybody kept talking about books and stuff. So I started walking around, and then I always look at the section of new releases, new paperback releases, right? And so some of them are new releases that they're coming out right now, and some they've been released, and now they're finally being released on paperback. Because I'm a paperback girl. Even though you saw all these hardcovers I just got, I love my paperbacks. So I really wanted to get this one when it was a hardcover, but I was like, I'm holding out. I'm going to get it when it comes out in paperback. And I'm so glad I waited because I want to read this. I actually own the other book by this author. And after I read this, if I enjoy it, I'm going to be really excited to read the other one. But this one is called Where the Wildflowers Grow, a novel by Tara Shelton Harris. And she's author of One Summer in Savannah, if you're familiar with that one. But look at that. Wait, look at it, everybody. Just look at that, right? And then look at the edges. Oh, gosh. Right? I'm not mad. I'm not mad. And watch the flop. Oh. Can't you just see me reading it? Like, Oh, it's so pretty. I think I'm going to be so distracted by the edges. I'm going to stop every now and then and just look at it. Look at it. Yeah. So this book is about it says Leah or Lay, maybe Lay. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name. Lay is the last of the wilds. She knows this because she has watched them all die. Grief never truly fades, and even as tragedy haunts her, Lay carries on because survival is in her blood. So when the transport bus taking her to prison careens off the road, killing everyone on board except her, she does what's in her nature. She survives. While searching for a place to hide, she stumbles upon an unexpected sanctuary, a flower farm in rural Alabama, tucked away from the world. What Lay doesn't expect is a found family there who have built something from the wreckage of their own lives. Wait, stop. Found family. Okay. Remember the last book that the seven, I love generational books like that. And I like found family. I really, really do. I love it in movies and I love it in books. So I think this is going to be great. Anyhow, she gets into this small town. We're going to see what happens. I think there's a little bit of romance in here. And I think that her past might try to come back and bite her in the butt. But I just need all really to know that and just to know that it's so pretty and I own it. So I did buy that outside of it, Independent Bookstore Day. I just bought that in Belinda's Greed Day. So there's the books there that we got. I'm going to put these back over here really quick. I'm going to put them back in here actually because I'm going to put them on the shelf. But I'm hoping to get some of these. Like I said, they would be really great summer books. I haven't really picked things that I specifically want to do for summer, but I think I would like to do at least one of those. All right, so now let's look at, I don't know if I put it, I think I definitely put it in this one. I haven't written it in there yet because I haven't committed, but this is my potential May TBR. So the first one is going to be, I don't have the actual copy of the book, but I will be getting a copy of the book. I know I have the audio of it, so this is for book club. And the name of this one is called Solitaria by Elena Alves Cruz, which is a novel. It's translated by Benjamin Brooks. This is the cover, which is fabulous. Oops, go back. There it goes. There it goes. Can you see it? There it is. It's really nice. She's a Brazilian, Afro-Brazilian author. And, oh goodness, come on. I think I put here the description. Oh, here we go. Go at Amazon. I can look at it in here. The description for this one is for fans of. Oh no. Here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Mabel has been staying in Golden Plate, the most expensive building on the block, in an unnamed city in Brazil for almost her entire life. Yet her presence there is merely tolerated. She inhabits a minuscule room with her mother, Eunice, who, alongside Mabel, provides round the clock attention and care for the wealthy family who lives there. As Mabel grows up, her dissatisfaction with the forced smallness of her life becomes difficult to bear, and she's driven to work towards new possibilities for herself. Eunice does the best she can. Uneducated, with a daughter and an ailing mother, both depending solely on her, her life is a series of limitations. She moves through the rooms of the penthouse suite in silent servitude, and though Mabel is ashamed of this invisibility act they've been both perfected, the era of slavery is still fresh in the country's consciousness, and Eunice thinks it best not to dwell too hard on such things. But when tragedy strikes and a little boy dies, Eunice must decide if she can face the indifference and injustices of the ruling class she has spent so long orbiting. This sounds so good. Okay, so this came out in August of last year. But this is for our book club, so I'm looking forward to that one. I'm definitely gonna read it. Unfortunately, I'm going away on vacation this month, so I won't be at book club, but I will leave my thoughts to Dee Dee, provided I finish in time. Because let's just put that out there. Okay, so there's that one. Then for Military May, I want to read a selection. And the unfortunate thing is, well, not unfortunate. I have vacation at the end of this month. My oldest son is graduating from college this month. And so I have a lot of things that are going on so that I know that my time is going to be shrunk. It's not going to be a full May to read all these books. So I'm going to do the best that I can with this list, not guaranteeing it, but this is what I'm thinking of things going in. This is book club one I definitely want to read. So I'm going to try to make that a priority. What was that word? A priority. The other one for Military May, which may very well spread into next month, and I'm okay with that because I still want to read the book, It's called Half American, The Epic Story of African Americans Fighting World War II at Home and Abroad by Matthew F. Delmont. I had toyed between this and another, yeah, can you see it? This and another book, but I think this is the one that I want to read. I think it's going to have a lot more, it's going to have historical information, but it's also going to have the context from the viewpoint of African American soldiers. So I'm really looking forward to reading that one. And then I have a review book that I'm going to be reading that is coming out this month, and I was supposed to have already read it, but yeah, but I'm going to get it done this month because it's this month that comes out. It's the author of The Unexpected Diva, which is another book that I read by this author, and I really enjoyed that one. And this is Tiffany L. Warren, and it's a Harlem wedding. Okay, so that's the cover. Pretty, right? I think it comes out the 12th, May 12th. May 12th. So look for that one. And that one, I'm going to read a little bit about it. It says, from the Unexpected Diva author Tiffany Warren, a dishy and dramatic novel of the Harlem Renaissance and its most famous Black debutante, Yolanda D. Du Bois, daughter of W.B. Du Bois, whose spectacular wedding to poet Count Cullen was a society event of the year, even though the bride and groom were not so secretly in love with other people. A century ago, I won't go into that. Just that enough. Sounds like a little spicy. We're going to find out what the drama is. We're going to get a bit of the Harlem Renaissance. I think she did a great job with The Unexpected Diva, and I don't think she's going to disappoint in this one. If you do get a chance to go get it, check it out. I will give my full thoughts on it once I read it, as I always do when I do a review book. But I think this is going to be good. It's got a good premise, and she's got the ability to do it. So I have that one. I'm probably going to start that one today because I feel like I need to hustle. And then when I was thinking about summer, I was like looking at my shelf, and I have summer has not officially come, but I'm starting to feel that way. And so I picked this, which I bought. I don't remember when I bought this. I was with my husband, I think, and I bought this one. But this is Ayana Gray's I, Medusa. And it just sounded this one, just like Cleopatra, sounds really cool. They're kind of retelling of the story. But this one is also done by a Black author. There's a picture of the author back here. And look at the pages. It's beautiful, beautiful book. I don't know if the cover. Maiden, Mistress, Monster, Myth, it says on here. But it's just a gorgeous cover. So it's gonna be another spin on Medusa, and it's gonna give us, another story, another myth for us, right? So that I thought would be really fun. And also when I'm on vacation, I don't think I'm gonna get as much time to read. It's with family. And so I think, if I do sneak in a little, this would be a nice one to have. So there's that. Another one that I'm going to read that I've just hooked on to this author, and I already own one of her books, and I think that I'm just going to buy all of her backlist, is Lorraine Carey. And so I'm going to see when this one came out. Just see. I own Black Ice. This one was written in 1989. And this one, I believe, it's called Lady Sitting, My Year with Nana at the End of Her Century. And I love the cover here. And this one says, from cherished memories of childhood weekends with Nana to the reality of the year she spent lady sitting, Lorraine Carey journeys through stories of their time together and 5 generations of their African-American family, weaving a narrative of her complicated relationship with Nana, a fiercely independent and often stubborn woman whose family fled the Jim Crow South and who managed her own business until 100. Carey captures the ruptures, love, and forgiveness that can occur in family as she bears witness to her grandmother's vibrant life. So I think this sounds so good. I'm really loving stories that are like family history. I love reading the Bernice L. McFadden book earlier this month. I just really do. And I like to see how people are how they tell it. One day I would love to write mine, but I get that's That's, I don't know if I would be writing it for anybody else other than myself, but I just love to see how people lay out the story. And so I'm really looking forward to reading that. So that is it for my books that I want to read. That's all my shopping. I talked a lot. I know I always do, but I haven't been doing a lot of videos, so I feel like they're longer but fewer. I know I need to do more and shorter. And as we are approaching me out in the garden now, I am clearing weeds. We are going to get to the garden season so we can start doing some gardening vlogs and things like that. So let me know what you're reading for May, what your plans are reading. And if you're doing military May, I'm going to leave the link down so that you can find out more information about it if you're not aware about it, because I think it's a really cool one. I just, unless you are a history buff and do that, it's not a conscious thing to necessarily read about specifically about wars. So I am very excited, and there are prompts that go with it as well. But I think ultimately, as long as you're reading something about military history, then you've got it covered. So those are the books. That's what I'm reading. Ella is asleep down here. I am actually going to get changed and go outside and weed because it's going to rain this weekend. That's what they said. So I will talk to you guys again, hopefully next week, and see how I'm doing with what I've gotten so far and my preparations. Graduation is coming up too, so I get to pick up my other son from school next week. So lots of things are happening. So I am going to have to be sneaking reading time. I'm going to really have to be good in order to read even half of the things I just said. So I will talk to you guys again. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.